Welcome to Circuit of the Americas for the United States Grand Prix, our home Grand Prix, Season 1, Race 16 of my F1 2021 My Team Career Mode. And we put it P3 on the grid, not that far behind the Mercedes. And even though we tend to get slower starts, I think we should have a pretty good chance to take the lead going into turn 1. Really, it's sort of a Noah's Ark if you take me out of the equation, because you got Mercedes, then the two McLarens, then the two Ferraris, then the two Red Bulls. And then it's a little bit mixed up back here. Aston Martin, AlphaTauri, Alpine, AlphaTauri, Aston Martin, Alpine, and then the rest of the grid. So we are in unlike Japan, we'll look to bounce back from Japan, we are in a very strong position for this race.
Great work out there today.
Particularly if we take the lead on the start.
You had a lot of fans out there today. Does the pressure get to you when you're back home? It's got to be a relief to qualify that far up the grid. Great. Well, that's everything.
Answered plenty of questions in the practice sessions too, so everything looking good for us going into our home Grand Prix. And no, as you can see, Valtteri Bottas is our new rival. Still can't get over seeing him in the AlphaTauri uniform there. Still a foreign thing to see, if I'm being honest.
All right, I think we can call that a successful qualifying. We should be in with a good chance in the race.
Dry weather expected for the race. Believe we reached department capacity on all of our departments, so we can't really do anything else from here. Though we do have 1,239 resource points, so that's good. And sure we have the right engine. We do. And yeah, we're just gonna go straight into the US Grand Prix.
Welcome once again then to the United States Grand Prix here in the magnificent city of Austin. It was here in 2018 that Kimi Raikkonen delighted the world by winning for the first time in 114 races. There's always a record to be broken, so what, I wonder, is in store for us today? We have 10 turns to the left and 10 to the right here at the fantastic Circuit of the Americas, overtaking opportunities into turn 1 and 12 at this anti-clockwise 3.6 mile track. And we should see average lap speeds of around 126 miles per hour.
Excuse me? No comments from Anthony Davidson, I guess.
With the race minutes away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Yuki Tsunoda lines up on pole position, and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have the owner driver, Norris, Carlos Sainz, and Perez, Verstappen, Stroll, Ricciardo, and Charles Leclerc. They've taken a grid penalty. Russell, Vettel, Kimi Raikkonen, and Fernando Alonso. Bottas, they'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Ocon, Pierre Gasly, and Guan Yu Zhou. Latifi, they've taken a grid penalty. Mick Schumacher, Mazepin, and Antonio Giovinazzi starts from the back of the grid.
Okay, I know it's your home Grand Prix, but treat it like any other race. Don't take unnecessary risks.
Alright, calling for a 2-stop. We'll see if that's the strategy we end up employing. And we'll take a look at the race director. Everyone pretty much on softs, so...
Right, let's get the car up to temperature on this lap. We're learning the gears, so go through them all if you can. Okay, our main competitors in this race are Hamilton and Norris. Radar is clear, weather is looking good for now. Dries seem like the best tyre for now. Radar is clear, weather is looking good for now.
Again, hopefully we can have a better outing and a better strategy call than we did in Japan. As he casually ghost through Lewis Hamilton's car.
Keep an eye on the lights. The start sequence will begin as soon as the grid has formed. Be ready with the clutch.
Alright, getting ready for 5 red lights at the US Grand Prix and Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas. Don't be surprised if turn 1 gets a little messy. And we're underway. And Lando Norris, what a start! Norris just got an absolutely, like, amazing launch off the line. Still making too much contact. Oh, well, that didn't work out. For now. So I go completely wide there. Sonoda pitting early, he must have damage. That first lap collision. And the thing is, I don't think we're going to be getting away from the people in front of us, or the people behind us, so it's going to be just one long train for the bulk of this race. Hamilton's just able to turn in so much deeper. Just those S's are very, very tricky. If you just miss one switch or twitch, you're gonna totally run off the track. A little unnecessary contact. Yep, now what we're likely going to see is just one long DRS train, at least until the first pit stop. Okay, pit window is lap 8 to lap 11. In my view, the only way there is a chance that I can make the one stop work, but I'd have to stretch it a little bit further to lap 12. Ooh, excuse me. Apologies for that. Through here. Very technical section of the track. Of course, Circuit of the Americas takes a lot of inspiration from other famous corners in Formula One, other famous circuits. So notice that's the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. No surprise though, he's on fresh, soft tires. Do our first mid-session save. Hamilton gets us down the straight, but we always have the better braking.
Okay, we've lost the position. That's us down
Into the
place.
corner. To get the spot back. Oh, and Hamilton spun. He had a little contact with me. He was on the outside. And that's not a corner where you're going to go side by side, unfortunately.
Okay, clear.
You really should know better that that's not a good passing zone.
The officials are deploying the safety car due to multiple cars being stopped on track. Mind your delta.
Safety car? For what, exactly? The only car that was stopped on track was Lewis. Nobody else had any issues, really. Safety car is out, though. I have no idea what's going to happen next. This So okay, so we'll do mid-session save. I think it's too early to pit, if I'm being honest.
A new strategy is available on the MFD.
I mean, I could do that, but I don't think that's really necessary.
Confirmed.
I mean, we'll see if anyone behind us hits.
Okay, slow down, slow down. Your delta is negative, which means you are too fast. Reduce your pace.
And only Sergio Perez and a couple others behind him are coming in. I'll have to see what tire. I presume that they are going onto soft tires. I have to imagine. Oh, too far away. Let's see. Sergio Perez. He's going onto soft tires. So is the McLaren. The Aston Martin team is doing that as well. I believe Ferrari is doing that as well. So, some people are trying a two-stop. But they're all going on to soft tires.
Approaching the safety car. You're leading, so don't pass it. Stay behind the safety car.
So those cars are going to be quicker, obviously, but the problem is that they're going to be stuck behind a ton of traffic for people who didn't stop. So just to give a count here. So you have Perez, and one of the Ferraris, who I believe is Leclerc. Then you have Daniel Ricciardo, Sebastian Vettel, Tsunoda's on track, Nikita Mazepin, Lewis Hamilton. All these guys. Hamilton goes for a wing change as well. They are all going on softs, but they're all going to have to pit again, and they're going to be stuck behind traffic, particularly. Let's see, was there anyone else behind? Yeah, so Tsunoda was the last car running on track. So they're going to be stuck behind 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9-ish cars before they get to some competitive cars ahead of them. So I'm not entirely sure about that strategy call. Especially now, I'm in a situation with the safety car that, in theory, should be easier for me to stretch it to lap 12, change onto mediums, and then just sort of go from there. And I'm not saying it's going to be a race-winning move, especially considering how tightly the pack is going to be behind me. But one stop is better than two, at least from my perspective. So the key is going to be to follow the car, the first car that came in on soft tires, or came out on softs. So I think Tsunoda and Perez are going to be the ones to watch to see how quickly they can get through the field in the next several laps. And remember, they're stuck behind a lot of slow cars. The Williams, one of the Haas's, both Alfa Romeos. I think we're still waiting for Lewis Hamilton to catch up to the pack. And he's way behind. So we might get another lap behind the safety car here. And I'm honestly surprised that Hamilton spin was enough to warrant a safety car. It seemed like he was just going to let the pack go and get back going, and that'd be it, but apparently not. so we're only going to have 5 laps under green before we make our stop, which is fine by me. Everyone else pitted for softs. Nobody pitted from softs to a different tire, and Sonoda is 17th, Perez is 16th. Sonoda obviously has already worn soft tires.
We're coming up to the safety car now. Do not pass it. You are the leader. Follow the safety car. Okay, the safety car is coming in this lap. We'll be pacing the field in Sector 3. Make sure to respect the delta until the safety car is in the pit lane.
Alright, so we are the control car for the safety car restart here.
Push now. We're boxing this lap. Green flag. No tyre concerns at the moment. Just focus on the driving.
Oh, we got some cars diving into the pits.
Okay, the stewards have now enabled DRS. DRS is now online.
That timing actually works out great for us, because now we don't have anybody behind us pressuring DRS. See, these guys are going for soft tires, so they're sticking to a two-stop strategy. I don't know, I mean, I really think this stretching out a little bit is going to really benefit me in terms of a potential one-stop. Let's check the race director. Everyone who has pitted has gone for soft tires, so there you go. That's how things stand as of now. Verstappen pits. Stroll, Alonso, and Bottas stay out for another lap. Projection has us coming out in 18th place at the moment. Okay, next lap by, we are going to pit. And the idea is that if I can take the softs 12 laps, then surely the mediums can do 16, no problem. Stroll's about 2 seconds behind me.
Confirmed, we'll receive you at the end of this lap. Affirmative, medium tyres at the next stop. Understood, stopping this lap. some information on Vettel. They're retiring from the race.
Sebastian Vettel's had a problem as we do our mid-session save. Let's see if we can do that a little bit better, because we got really slowed up there. But while we do that, or before we do that, we'll see where Vettel is and whatever problem he had going on. Yep, typical engine failure on his end. Fortunately, the safety car did not come out in time for them to close pit road, so we should have no issues there. That's better. Just coming in, fitting on medium tires, and that's what Stroll's going for too, as everyone else. So I wonder if these guys are going to try to stretch it out and go to the end of the race.
Guan Yu is coming in for his stop. Go now.
A lot of smoke in the pit lane.
Up to speed now. Let's get some heat into those tires.
I think some other people pitted as well. That were well behind me. So Bottas pitted. He had to wait for the Alfa Romeo of Raikkonen to come in. So there he goes. Hamilton comes in. My teammate Guan Yu Zhou comes in. Right behind me were Alonso and Stroll, I believe. So, just to keep track of where everything is right now. So, Gasly and Ocon still have to stop. Perez and Leclerc need to stop again, as does Ricciardo, Lewis Hamilton, Lando Norris, Sainz, Mazepin, Russell, Schumacher, Latifi, and a host of others. Verstappen having to pit again for some reason. He might have gotten damaged. Let's see. He went on the hard tire, but then he's coming in for softs. Okay, so they had to, looks like they had to fix our front wing on his car. So he must have gotten damage somewhere along the line. So if Ricciardo were to catch us, in theory we could let him go, because we know he has to pit one more time. He can't... He needs to go on a different compound before the end of the race. And Ocon and Gasly pit now.
Gap to car in front is 1.8 seconds.
Now I guess the curious thing to keep an eye on is, for those people who pitted on the mediums, are they going to try and stretch it to the end of the race, or are they going to pull a silly move and pit again for soft tires to go to the end? So if they stay out, then Lance Stroll is really the second place car right now.
We're slowly gaining on the car in front. Try to keep this momentum.
Perez is in for his second stop, as is Charles Leclerc, as is Ricciardo, as is Lewis Hamilton. Taking a 3.8 second
Check
lead.
your MFD for a new strategy option.
Come on, Stroll.
Copy. You are in first position, front of the pack, Stroll behind. The gap to the car behind is 3.9 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Pit window will open in 3 laps time. Pit window opens in 3 laps. 12 laps to go. Didn't catch that. Say again. We're leading our teammate by 27.8 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. They're in 18th. The time last lap was a 1:39.3. They're in 6th. The gap is 6.0 seconds. The time last lap was a 1 minute 36.6.
Just want to double check since Lando is in second. I believe he's someone else who has to stop again. Yes, so Norris has to stop again. Sainz has to stop again. Russell has to stop again. And Mick Schumacher has to stop again. So, when those guys pit, the running order will be myself, Stroll, Alonso in third, Bottas in fourth, Perez in fifth, Gasly sixth, Ocon seventh, Kimi Räikkönen will be 8th, Yuki Tsunoda will be 9th, and Leclerc will be 10th, followed by Ricciardo, Hamilton, TVS stop again, Guan Yu Zhou, Verstappen, Giovinazzi, and Mazepin.
We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the softs.
Norris dives into the pits, as does Carlos Sainz, making their pit stops, as predicted. Again, as we said, I don't know when or if those medium tire guys are going to pit again. I have no idea. So we are going to have to wait and find out on that one. If they don't pit by lap 22 or so, then they're going the rest of the way on those set of tires. Water, but I think the guy to really watch out for here is going to be Sergio Perez. He has I believe he has the freshest medium tires out of anyone. So, or anyone out of this lead group here, I should say.
want to pit this lap, so push now.
That is not gonna happen. Sorry to say. I have to say, Lance Stroll is doing a wonderful job of holding up everyone behind me. So credit, all the credit to him for helping me out here. And Stroll, slowing them up, is backing Alonso and Bottas right into the clutches of Sergio Perez, who's clearly, I think, the fastest car of that bunch. Had a poor run through the that section of the track. But just to recap the running order, so I'm leading. Lance Stroll second. Fernando Alonso is third. Valtteri Bottas is fourth. Perez is fifth. Gasly is sixth. Yuki Tsunoda is seventh. Ocon is eighth. Norris is ninth. Hamilton is 10th, Raikkonen 11th, Norris 12th, Sainz 13th, Leclerc 14th, Giovinazzi 15th, my teammate Guan Yu Zhou 16th, George Russell 17th, Mick Schumacher 18th, Max Verstappen 19th, way back there. Nikita Mazepin is 20th, and Latifi's 21st, and Sebastian Vettel, of course, is out of the race. So. I think I made a bad run to that corner. Do that again. Much better run through there. Oh, Latifi's out of the race now. He must have been an engine failure as well. He was way back in the pack. Like, there he is. There's Nicholas Latifi on the pit straight, pulls off. So second Mercedes-powered vehicle to retire from the race. Of course, Sebastian Vettel retired earlier on, so might be a little nervous if I'm driving a Mercedes-powered car right now. Of course, I am not. I'm driving a Renault-powered car.
Caution, caution. Someone's come off ahead of you. There's a yellow flag ahead.
Oh, Perez making an overtake on Fernando Alonso. Let's go back and take a look at that. Oh, actually, Alonso went for a spin. The two-time world champion makes a rare mistake and loops the car around in turn one. Look at that from his perspective again. Very odd, such a slow-speed corner, for him to just loop it around like that, but he did. Right there on the power, and it just goes around. Bottas and Perez did a great job to get out of the way. Make sure they didn't run into him.
Be aware we expect the grip levels to start falling away soon.
And Tsunoda is battling with Gasly for P5. Looks like Gasly held onto it for the moment. Yeah, gotta give it to Gasly. Yuki Tsunoda is a much faster car, and he is able to hold him off right now. So fair play to Pierre. Doing a very nice job in P5. Meanwhile, it's 4 laps to go for us. Perez is close. It's not quite close enough, or has been close enough to get the pass done.
We have 5 laps of fuel remaining.
Again, gotta give credit to Pierre Gasly. He's got a much faster car and Yuki Tsunoda behind him, and he's just managing to hold station in P5. It's gonna be a very good day for AlphaTauri. If they stay where they are, they're gonna score, what is it, 15 and 10, 25 points in the Constructors' Championship. If Perez holds, or if Gasly. If Gasly holds on to finish 5th, that's a good points haul for them. Which 2 more laps for us here in the United States Grand Prix. Last mid-session save. Tire wear, pretty solid. Of course, I have to think that safety car really helped us out in terms of saving the soft tires during that initial stint, allowing us to stretch it out like this. Also surprised as well that Sergio Perez has not been able to find a way past Valtteri Bottas. Perhaps Bottas is, he's flirting with DRS range, but perhaps he's just close enough to maybe even just pick up a little bit of the slipstream from Lance Stroll.
There's 3 laps of fuel remaining. Some information on Sonoda. They have an issue with their car.
Uh-oh.
They're going to be slow.
Sonoda's got a car issue right at the wrong time, late in the race with 2 laps to go. Going bad worse for Sonoda, stuck behind Gasly, and now he's got a car problem. And he's got cars behind him, so he could lose some spots here in the final lap.
Final lap of the race.
He could be holding up some people here. But for us, it's the final lap. Tire wear 60%, but that doesn't matter now. It's the last lap of the Grand Prix. Well, at least once during every career mode, I would like to win a race at my home Grand Prix. Again, even if it's just once. And it looks like we're going to do that here as we come around the final set of corners. Started third, we did a bonsai dive during the start, safety car a couple laps later, but in the end, we're going to come around for our 3rd win of the season in our home Grand Prix in the United States.
You worked hard for that one. Congratulations.
An American winning at their home Grand Prix. You'll love to see it.
That's it then for another magnificent United States Grand Prix. And they've hung on to take a sublime victory here today. Tell me, Ant, how do you think they were able to deliver such an incredible result today?
Well, the safety car completely changed the race, didn't it? It's hard to say exactly what would have happened without it, but there's no question that they came out of that situation in a good position.
Well, I'm thoroughly exhausted after the excitement of that race, but I'm sure it's nothing compared to our drivers here. They've worked hard to make it up there, and it's great to see them make their way out onto the podium. Let's see how the driver standings have changed. It's a great result for Lewis Hamilton, who moves further ahead at the top of the table. Some amazing talent out on the track today, but Anthony, who would you pick as your driver of the day?
It's got to be Valtteri Bottas, a commanding performance that I think had the audience's eyes glued to him for the majority of the race.
Nothing can challenge the leaders of the Constructors' Championship at this point, but it's another clear win for Mercedes as they managed to secure the Constructors' title. An incredible performance for the whole team. Meanwhile, a strong weekend from Red Bull this time out, and they improved their position in the championship. After an event like that, who knows what the sport has in store for us next time? Be sure to join us again as we continue to bring you the latest excitement in Formula One.
Alright, and that was the United States Grand Prix. Latifi and Vettel, the DNFs in this race. Both Mercedes scored points, but they finished 7th and 8th. Constructor standings, Red Bull re-jumps McLaren, though they're actually tied. They are level on points, 292 apiece. We're pretty secure in 4th. Ferrari needs a lot of points to catch us. AlphaTauri and Aston Martin in a bit of a battle now. 99 to 93, so those two are going to fight it out for 6th place. And then Alpine, Alfa Romeo are by themselves, and Haas and Williams are at the bottom. Driver standings wise, Yuki Tsunoda actually drops 1 spot. We move up a spot to P3 after the win. And we're actually, with Verstappen finishing out of the points, we are very close to catching him for P2. In fact, I think this whole weekend, with Verstappen not having any points scored in this race, really throws up in the air who could finish 2nd and 3rd. I mean, you would think Verstappen would hold on, but he's got to pick it up. I mean, the Red Bulls haven't exactly been having good qualifying performances as of late. The McLarens are still holding on. Lando Norris still up there. Bottas still hanging on, even though he's in an AlphaTauri. So yeah, all in all, excellent result. Again, like to try to win it. Like to try to win the U.S. Grand Prix at least once in my career mode, and I've checked that off the list in season 1. So I'll be happy with that.
Amazing performance out there. I'm sure you're pretty happy with that. How are the fans at your home Grand Prix treating you? What do you think made the difference between this weekend and last weekend? You're surpassing all expectations. Can anything or anyone stop you? Great. Well, that's everything.
So we'll see if we can do anything once we go to the back to the factory and advance time to the next race. Again, it should be short since this is a triple header, with the next race being Mexico and the race after that being Brazil. Morale's high all around, which is good. We do simulator training for Guan Yu. So let's go to facilities. So we got the fabrication coming in on the aerodynamics side. Let's do that for the powertrain as well. We have enough money. $2,200,000. We have $3.26 million. That should be enough to cover it. Puts us at just over $1 million. And all the upgrades came in, which
Our
is
new parts are
excellent
completed without
news.
issue.
Excellent.
They'll be on the car, ready for the
Excellent
next race
news.
weekend.
In terms of what we have left, we have a minor upgrades coming up, a minor aerodynamics, a minor chassis. Let's see if we can do anything. So we can get... let's see. Performance. We have 1,351. That is a minor upgrade. That is a minor upgrade. That is a major upgrade for the rear downforce. So let's see, where are we most in need? Yeah, we have by far the best engine on the grid. I feel like we can do some catching up on the aero side. I think we'll go with the redesigned brake ducts. Go with the tire blankets as well. So those will come in for a few races, but they're minor upgrades, so anything is helpful, I'd say. And we might purchase one more upgrade coming up. Maybe we'll purchase the crankshaft here. But after that, once we get enough points to do that, that might be our last upgrade for the entire season while we save up on resource points for the end of the season, or going into season 2. So basically all our upgrades in the short term are aerodynamics and chassis related, and they won't be coming in for another couple races. Actually, none of these upgrades will be coming in until before Austria, I think. Not Austria, Australia. So, going into the Australian Grand Prix, we should be having a lot of upgrades coming in on the car. So we have the upgrades that we just did, which will be reflected in this chart once we go to the race. And then from Brazil will be stagnant. But then going into Australia, we should see a major bounce up in our performance. So that should be fun to keep track of as we finish off. So that was the US Grand Prix, and we will see you next time for the Mexican Grand Prix.